Pig Heart Boy by Mallory Blackman. Chapter 4. Dr. Bryce. Tonight? And you didn't think to tell us before now? Mum's body was rigid with rage. I didn't know myself until about 2 hours ago. Dr. Bryce phoned me after work and asked if he could come and see us this evening. What was I supposed to do? Say no? You're supposed to talk to me and Cameron first. Mum's voice was getting quieter and quieter. She stared at Dad at that moment, almost as if she hated him. I turned away. I couldn't bear to watch. I've just told you I couldn't say anything until I knew Dr. Bryce would take Cameron's case, and I didn't know until only a couple of hours ago. If I'd said something beforehand, you would have just got upset for no reason. So you knew I'd get upset? Mum's eyes narrowed. Her voice chilled like liquid nitrogen. I thought you might, until you'd had a chance to calm down and really think about it. Don't patronise me, Mike, Mum snapped. Look, Dr. Bryce will be here soon, and if we don't present a united front, then we can all forget it, Dad snapped back. He's hardly going to take this any further if you sit there glaring at him and making it obvious that you're against the whole idea. Then I'll sit there with a blank expression on my face and I won't say a word. Happy now? If you two are going to carry on arguing, can I go up downstairs? I sighed. I came up here to get away from you. Mum frowned. Cameron, that's enough. Don't be so cheeky. I'm not being cheeky, I replied, bitterness spilling out in my voice. I'm just tired. Tired of you two fighting about me all the time. Tired of dreading coming home to listening to yet another quarrel. Tired of being piggy in the middle. My voice trailed off as I realised what I'd said. Piggy in the middle. I couldn't help it. I started to laugh. Dad's lips twitched. Mum looked like she was about to start to smile. She couldn't laugh. She couldn't laugh though. But me and Dad were laughing. Loud laughter. Unexpected and the whole welcome because of it. Then I burst into tears. It was so hard to say who was more shocked, Mum, Dad or me. Mortified, I tried to stop. I tried to choke back the tears, but that just made it worse. I gulped hard and tried to take a deep breath, but the tears kept flowing. They ran down my cheek and under my nose and into my mouth, salty and unwelcome. I wiped my face with the back of my hand, wishing the bed would open up and swallow me. Cameron, darling, what's the matter? Mum flew across the classroom, across the room in a moment. Cameron, don't cry, Dad said, anguished. Look, I didn't mean to upset you. If you don't want to meet this doctor, then you don't have to. I wouldn't force you to do anything you didn't want to do. No, I want to meet him, I stammered. What's the matter, Cam? Why are you crying? Mum asked, her arm around my shoulders. I shook my head but didn't speak. How could I answer? What was I supposed to say? When for the life of me I had no idea why I was crying. Cam? Mum got no further, and at that moment the doorbell rang. Dr. Bryce, Dad said. Cameron, are you sure you want to meet him? Because if you don't, I'll send him away. It's okay. I'm all right now, I shrugged, away from Mum's arm. I'll go and wash my face. I'll see you downstairs. Without giving my parents a chance to say another word, I stood up and ran to the bathroom. Once there, I locked the door. I needed a few seconds of peace. I still had no idea what had made me blub like that. I couldn't remember the last time I'd cried. Where had that come from? You're just feeling sorry for yourself. I scolded at my reflection in the mirror above the basin. Stop it. Stop it now. I turned on the cold tap and allowed the water to run colder and colder into the basin. Pulling the plunger to set the plug, I waited until the water was almost at the top. Then I plunged my face into it. Instantly, my skin began to tingle. I opened my eyes and reluctantly straightened. That was better. It was just a shame I couldn't stay longer with my head beneath the water. I emptied the sink, and then sat down on the edge of the bath. As I dried my face, my thoughts turned to Dr. Bryce. Something told me that if and when I met this man, my life would change, one way or another, for better or for worse, and all I had to do was go downstairs. Or I could call Dad and tell him I didn't want to meet Dr. Bryce, and that would be at the end. And that would be the end of that. Life would go on as normal, and I'd be dead before my 14th birthday. Or I could go downstairs, into the unknown, and take it from there. I took a deep breath and headed downstairs. I scrutinised Dr. Bryce and made no attempt to hide it. But unlike most grown-ups, Dr. Bryce didn't look annoyed or try to give a false smile. Instead, he met my gaze. "I'm sorry if we seem a bit preoccupied," Dad glanced at Mum. "It's been one of those days." "Please don't apologise," Dr. Bryce waved Dad's apology aside. "I should have given you more notice that I was coming, but I have to be very careful, as I'm sure you understand." Dad nodded. Mum gave a closed-mouth acknowledgement of Dr. Bryce's words. "Why do you have to be careful?" I asked bluntly. Mum and Dad might know, but I certainly didn't. I was fed up with everyone talking about me and past me and through me. It was as if I was dead already, and I wasn't. "Well, Cameron, we've been trying to solve the problem of the lack of human organs available for donation for some time now." Dr. Bryce spoke directly to me, his tone earnest. "Some doctors are developing mechanical or robotic hearts. Some are working on ways to prolong the life of an already defective heart. My team and I have tried another approach." "Pig hearts," I supplied. "Pig hearts," the doctor nodded. "But a number of animal rights and animal welfare groups don't agree with what we're doing." "Why?" "They feel that we shouldn't be experimenting on animals. They believe it's wrong to sacrifice pigs and all the other animals we use in our research to help humans." "But you obviously don't believe that," I stated. Dr. Bryce shook his head. "I eat meat and I see nothing wrong with using the animals in the medical research as long as it's done in a humane way. We're not cruel to our animals." "Isn't that a matter of definition?" Mum asked. "Kathy, I really don't think—" Mum interrupted. Dad smiled. "Mike, I'm only asking, or would you rather I didn't?" I winced. There they were at it again. Dr. Bryce frowned. "I'm not quite sure what you mean, Mrs. Kelsey. You say that you're not cruel to your animals, but you breed them specifically for the purpose of killing them and using their insides to help humans. Some would call that cruel." "Do you?" "I didn't say me," Mum shook her head. "I said some. Chickens, pigs, cows and sheep are bred all over the world for the sole purpose of being killed to feed the human race. We're talking about domestic animals here. Is it any worse to breed them to save and extend human life? Should they be bred for food and food alone? I guess it's a matter of definition, but believe me, I can sleep at night, and I have no trouble looking in the mirror either," said Dr. Bryce. "Do the animal rights people write you lots of letters then?" I asked. "Some do, and I don't mind that. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I respect that." Dr. Bryce licked his lips before he continued. "I don't want to alarm you here, but you should know what you are letting yourselves in for. My house was firebombed twice. We had faeces through the letterbox more times than I care to remember. And also, our house has been flooded. One group put a hose pipe through our front door. We've had to move 3 times as a consequence of everyone involved in my projects tends to guard their privacy very fiercely." "Is that why you didn't want us to know you were coming until the last second?" Dr. Bryce nodded. "But that's why it's crucial that if we do go through with this, none of you says a word to anyone about the nature of the transplant. I wouldn't want you to go through all the things I and the rest of my team have had to put up with." "Why do you carry on?" I asked. "Why don't you give up and do something less controversial?" "He's dedicated," Dad said, just to laugh off with a comment. I frowned at my dad. What was the matter? Was Dad afraid of Dr. Bryce? Might quit right here and right there? "I can't quit. It's what I was born to do," Dr. Bryce replied to me directly. "I'm one of the lucky ones who have found the one thing that makes their life complete, and I couldn't do anything else, even if I wanted to. And besides, it's the only thing I'm good at." Okay, I'm going to stop there. To be continued.